Hey friends, my name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Well, there it is. I was about to say, and I'm back amongst the living. Just barely though, good lord. I don't feel great, but I felt better when I wasn't talking. Apparently talking makes me cough. We'll see how this goes. Thanks for bearing with me. On Monday's, man, this has been a hell of a week. Monday's stream, 10 o'clock at night, Monday night, I started to feel like crap. I was like sniffling, snorting a little bit, but no coughing. Tuesday, good God, I woke up Tuesday, and it was like I got hit by a shovel. It was just outrageous. I think I had the flu. And I think this is the first time I've ever had the flu, because nothing can compare to this other than when I had COVID last year. Technically I could have had COVID. The tests are now really expensive. We were, I was really wanting to take a COVID test just to see, but it was, yeah, the tests are expensive, and it was kind of like, what, why? Like, what's the point? You know, it says positive, okay. It says negative, okay. Like, yeah, so I didn't take a COVID test. But this was crazy, dude. There was no, the biggest thing when I had it last year was like the body pain and the body aches. I did not have that at all this time. But I had a crazy headache. Tuesday was just, I couldn't function on Tuesday. My brain was just broken, and I just had this searing headache. Um, I was supposed to have a talk therapy appointment on Tuesday. Didn't make that, which sucks. It's like a $95 cancellation fee. Um, but I just could not function. I was just completely worthless all day Tuesday, and then Wednesday I still kind of had the headache, but it was nowhere near as bad. There was a point on Tuesday. I was sleeping up in the bedroom, and I woke up. And Maggie came in. She's like, "Ooh, ooh." She's like, "You just smell like sickness." I had like night sweats and all that nonsense you get when you're sick. I felt terrible. So I tried showering. I mean, I did shower Tuesday night, and like there was a point in the shower I had to sit down. Like my body was like shutting down. It was crazy. I had to like sit down for like 5 minutes to like catch my breath in the shower, and then when I got out of the shower and I was drying myself off, the same kind of thing. I felt like I was gonna pass out. It was wild. I had to sit down for a few minutes to like, yeah, that shit was nuts. I mean, what didn't help is that like I had no appetite to eat Tuesday, and like skinny man problems. Um, so I have a feeling it had a lot to do with that. But, whew, this was a little rough. Wednesday. I was coughing like crazy and phlegm and all that nonsense. But thankfully, like the headache was gone, and I was super just fatigued and tired and all that. And then yesterday, I woke up yesterday. I was like, oh, thank God. like Wednesday, I was a little bit better than Tuesday. It was mainly just like the brutal headache subsided. Everything else was kind of the same, but Thursday, like I actually started to feel like a human being again. And then when I got up today, I was like, okay, I can definitely stream tonight. It's going to be a little. I knew it was going to be a little sniffly and snorty, but yeah, I knew that I could actually function. Like Tuesday and Wednesday, like my brain wasn't working. I was just like an actual zombie. Brains. So yeah, this has been a nutty week, but here we are. I made it. I didn't pass away. That's all that matters. Today's been a crazy day. Our patio, there's two metal supports, and Maggie mentioned to me yesterday that she like pointed down at the bottom of the one metal support. She's like, "This is okay, right?" And like it's always been a little rusty. And like I looked at it, I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. It's been rusty like that forever." I didn't take a close look at it, but then I noticed that like up in the patio, like it was like stuff that should have been square was kind of parallelogramming a little bit, and I was like, "That's a little weird." And then Maggie's like, "Oh yeah, like a week or two ago there was like a huge bang, and I didn't know what it was." And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then so I start thinking about it, and I'm like, let me go look at that metal support. I go out there and I look at the metal support. It's completely broken, and to the point where like it just rusted right through it. And so like our patio at the moment is being held up by only the one metal support, and then the big bastards, double big, I don't know wood, yo. So yeah, it's off limits, and it's kind of like when you look at it, it's just kind of off a little bit because it's just being held up by this, and so it's kind of doing one of these. So yeah, it's kind of off limits, and we're a little bit freaked out. But I'm gonna have a general contractor come on Monday and take a look, and hopefully they can just like ram jack it up, and then throw some new supports in. I don't know. We'll see. There's a couple pieces of wood on the patio that are starting to rot a little bit, so this is our chance to fix that as well. So I guess, little patio refresh. We're hoping that homeowners insurance will cover it. The deductible's pretty high, unfortunately. We'll see. We also have this Old Dominion insurance, but it's mainly for like appliances. But yeah, we're gonna do all the things to see if we can. But I mean, right now, I'm just really glad that we caught it, because yeah, that like yeah, not safe houses, yo. So yeah, crazy week, but I'm back, and hopefully, and so that patio is right here. So yeah, cross your fingers that there's not absolute mayhem and pandemonium, because I mean, it won't like come through the wall or anything, but it would be the most horrifying thing ever for, I don't know, 50,000 pounds of patio to fall right outside this wall. At that point, we would definitely be going through homeowners insurance. But I don't know. Hopefully, we can get this done for less than our deductible. And we need the fence is kind of messed up. We need a new support pole thrown in for the fence. So maybe there'll be guys throwing down 2 support poles for the patio and another one for the fence next week, because yeah, it's sketchy, man. Right now it is sketchy out there. It's like, everybody stand back. Dog, don't run under there. Run out in the yard. Be all right, hopefully. In the chat, Hockey Rounds was first. Ram Donko was next. Anonymous, Morton Upshot, Polly Shortcuts, Frank Nicholas, Northern Tier, McConnell Studios, Anonymous, Robert Rosser, Matt Trombley, Morton Upshot, Douglas Otwell, FP Avery, Monty FPV, McConnell Studios, freshly back from Burning Man, Ram Donko, Fun per Volt, Wotan, Morton Upshot, Julian Dan, CMYK FPV, and Poiter. What's up, friends? Thanks for coming. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at GetFPV. Every once in a while, I like to look at the weekly emails that the big 4 resellers send. Newbie Drone, GetFPV, Race Day Quads, Pyro Drone. Right before the stream, a GetFPV email came through, so I figured, what the hell? Let's scroll through it, see if there's anything cool, talk about some of the new products, hopefully save you some money from buying something that's shitty. And yeah, maybe there's something interesting in there. So yeah, we're gonna take a look at some the GetFPV's weekly new product email, and then we're gonna do a little bit more work on that Walk Snail 1080 60 frames, 1080p 60 frames RC drift edit that we were working on 3 weeks ago. All the while, I'll be pounding more emergency, so that hopefully by Sunday's stream, I'm not so nasally. New microphone, let me know how it is. The feedback I've gotten so far is that it picks up everything that's going through the desk. So like that kind of stuff, and like when I move the mouse around, that would make sense because I have it on a cheap little tripod here. Trying to figure out how I want to mount it. I don't like the mic arms, but the mic arms are really good for isolating the microphone from the sounds of the desk. So yeah, I might have to do a mic arm, but we'll see. I would rather not. I would rather just have it on a little tripod here, so that I can kind of easily move it around, and so that it just, I don't know. I like having the microphone exactly right here. I don't like the look of having the mic in frame and whatnot. Just a personal thing. But we'll see. Give me more feedback if you guys don't mind in the comments and or in the chat. And yeah, we'll dial it in like we always do. I'm also exhausted. I apologize for there will be many a yawn. I'm battling whatever the hell this is that I've got, and it's we actually ran out of the daytime medicine, so I'm on nighttime medicine right now. I'm After the stream, I'm taking Azalea out for a. They came home from school and they were like, "I want cream puffs." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Cream puffs, are the little pastries with the stuff inside. I was like, "Okay." So I'm gonna surprise them and take them out after the stream for what I'm deeming the great cream puff finding expedition of 2023. Is it 2023? I think it's 2023. Go to like Publix, Target, whoever's opened at 9 o'clock at night and see if we could find little puff pastries. I don't know. Just trying to do fun things, you know? In the chat, if you want to talk directly to me, do what Hockey Rounds did and type CiottiFPV into your message. Spell it right. Don't put a space in between Ciotti and FPV. If you do that, it'll light up an orange like this, and I'll know that you're talking to me. If you don't do that, I won't read it, and I'll assume that you're talking amongst yourselves. I respect your privacy. This is my full-time job. If you like these live streams and you'd like them to continue, I need your help. Do something, leave a comment, thumbs up, subscribe. All that stuff is super helpful. Realistically, though, I need a couple dollars from you. Patreon is the best way to do that. You can join for as little as $3 a month. That's 7.5 cents per hour of live stream content that I do on a monthly basis. Pretty good deal, but I'm biased, you know, obviously. If you've got a couple extra dollars, you can get in on a bunch of giveaways. This last Monday stream was a giveaway stream. We did so for $5 a month, you get entered into Tiny Whoop and Toothpick giveaways. For $10 a month, it's 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop giveaways. For $20 a month, it's 5-inch giveaways. The price of the tier reflects what it costs me to buy the stuff that I give away. So yeah, that's how you can support me the best is Patreon. You can also use my affiliate links over on CiottiFPV.com. I have a whole bunch, or you can buy yourself something nice on my Etsy store or on my Fiverr page where you're going to work one-on-one with me, or my Teespring store. They're all over at CiottiFPV.com. Someone's probably posting the link in chat already. Check it out. You're going to love my nuts. On to business. More emergency. Let's see if there's any new products that don't suck. None of the products suck. It's just sometimes they're, you know, sucky. New release, DJI FPV Explorer Combo. Have they put the V2 system into the DJI FPV drone? Huh? Or do the goggles, are the new goggles backwards compatible? Man, that thing is 795 grams. Good Lord. Where is the... How can we tell if it's... How can we tell if it's the new... If it's the new one? Somebody in chat will know. Hold on. Let's get caught up. Let's get caught up on chat first. Hockey Rounds is tearing apart Oh my God, YouTube, you're fucking killing me with this. Hockey Rounds is tearing apart micromotors and cleaning them. What fun. Oh, man. Yeah, this is a very sarcastic what fun. Taking apart micromotors to clean them is totally doable, but it sucks. Getting the C-clips off is a bastard, and it just sucks in general. But it's totally doable. Northern Tier says, hope you're feeling better. What was the name of the stuff you use in place of BluTack? It is thermally resistive putty from massadhesive.com. This stuff is great. Thermally resistive putty. It's non-toxic. Massadhesive.com. Really good stuff. BluTack is totally fine, but this stuff it doesn't melt like BluTack. It doesn't absorb. It was designed to not absorb heat, which is a really good thing because you want the heat to stay in the component. Hopefully, you want it to stay on the pad. In addition to that, though, it doesn't melt like BluTack. BluTack, when it gets hot, it gets like liquidy and melty, and it gets just disgusting all over your electronics. Not the end of the world, but it's just ugly and awful and annoying. This is really good stuff, and it's only a couple of bucks for the little tin. And the little tin that it comes in is great. The tin, you just sit it right on your desk, and you put your components like on top of it. It's awesome. It's well worth like the $5 or $10 that it costs. So check it out for sure. Morton Upshot says, same tower you dove with a whoop. It was indeed. Yep. The intro to the live stream today was last year's Rampage. Remy, Tim, and I found that radio tower on our drive to Rampage and flew the shit out of it. And then this year I dove it with a tiny whoop. That it'll be out soon. Meccano Studios says, so Meccano Studios was just at Burning Man, and there was buzz around the news that there was some major disaster at Burning Man. And Meccano Studios, I asked him about it. He said the news blew it all out of proportion. We had a great time waiting for it to dry out and made it out on schedule. I think it just rained a bunch, and the news was crazy people in the desert are drowning in mud. They're all gonna die. This has been Fox News, your terrible source of information. Good luck. We're all gonna die. CMYKFPV's in the house. He says, what's up, Gangly Gang and CiottiFPV? You feeling better, dude? Way better, but it's, I'm still not great, but I'll get there. Poiter says, when you finish a fresh 65mm build, is there a certain preset you use, or do you run it stock? And fingers crossed for you. I have built and tuned and flown so many different rigs that I have like a set of things that I do. I've done it on street, like when I do a build on a live stream, I'll take you through all those things. I just do it live. We'll do it live. I don't recommend, and usually as I'm doing that, I explain that I don't recommend this for most people, and that I can typically get away with this because I've just done it so many times, and like I have a good feel for what the components will take in terms of the PID tune and the filtering. And I also will sometimes explain that as a content creator, it makes sense for me to crank up the PIDs and turn down the filters so that the footage looks as good as possible for you beautiful people. I want you to watch good, smooth footage rather than jerky, awful footage. For those of you that are not full-time content creators or even part-time content creators on YouTube, for those of you that are flying for yourself or are in the process of getting better and you're not trying to sell your services to potential people that need an FPV pilot, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to run anything other than defaults. And to be honest, you're going to learn faster by running the defaults. The worse your tune is, the more you're going to get to see when you put the rig into dirty air, essentially. So you're going to see more of your mistakes when you run a really loose PID tune or a stock PID tune. Nowadays, to be honest, the stock tune is more aggressive than it's ever been because the filtering is so good. So the stock tune will actually cover a lot of your mistakes. Yet another reason to run the stock tune. But yeah, if you're trying to get better as a pilot, a bad thing that you can do is obsess over tuning and crank your tune up as much as you possibly can, because it's going to cover up the mistakes that you want to know that you're making. And it's also going to leave you with a rig that's on like the razor's edge of being able to fly. And so if you crash it or you bend a prop or if you run a component that's not like great quality. It can fly away. You can get hot motors that burn up the ESC, or the motors themselves can burn. There's all kinds of problems associated with cranking up your tune. So for 98% of people, it's actually a really bad idea to run anything other than a stock tune, in my opinion. And in the opinion of other people that are in the know, right? Like, you have to like actually think through this to come to this realization. You can't just, oh, everybody on YouTube and Facebook's footage looks perfect, I need my footage to look perfect. Why does it matter? Why does it matter if a dozen strangers on Facebook look at your footage and it's smooth? Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, make a realistic list of, all right, I'm gonna hurt someone's feelings here. Nobody watches your footage. Sorry, it's just nobody watches my footage, and that's okay. We're don't fly for other people. Like, if you post your footage up on Facebook and people make fun of it, I mean, F those people. They're probably worse pilots than you anyway, and they're just trying to drag you down to pull themselves up. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just like post your footage on my Discord. We won't trash on you. We're nice people. It's just, what's your top priority? Are you trying to get better? Or are you trying to get E-famous? If you're trying to get E-famous, why? Why are you trying to get E-famous? It's terrible. You don't want it. Like, when you meet 10 people, one of those people is a shitbag. At least one of those people is a shitbag. So why would you want to become E-famous and invite hundreds, if not thousands, of people in, and hundreds of shitbags, right? Like, the whole E-fame thing is awful. So yeah, be real with yourself. And most people, myself included, your highest priority should be improving as a pilot. And like, yeah, a really cranked up PID tune and getting your filters lower to a certain extent is going to help because it's going to lower your latency. But like, the stock filtering is so low latency as it is that like, we're talking about 1 or 2 milliseconds. And if you're watching this live stream, you're probably not a good enough pilot to notice or benefit from 1 or 2 milliseconds of latency increase because of your filters. And you will probably have a much better time with more filtering so that you can crash. I guarantee you that you will have a better time, and you will learn more from having a little bit of extra filtering so that when you bang up a motor or a propeller, you can keep flying the rig, because flying the quad is what makes you better, and it is the fun thing that we all want to do, right? So there's just so many reasons to not F around with the PID tune. And yeah, like I said, on 4.2, 4.3, the stock tune is brilliant. So for the most part, just run the stock tune. If fucking around with the PIDs is fun for you, awesome. I love that. It is for me. That's how I justify all the time that I wasted doing it when I was new. And it is a nice skill to learn. But, you know, have your priorities and be real. Be really, really, really real. And then when you start messing around with the tune, don't go ham. Like, move a slider from 1.0 to 1.2 and be like, cool, I tuned it. Let me focus on flying it, because that's the fun part. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on tuning, Poiter. Thank you for asking that question. This is something that not many people really talk about, and that drives me crazy, because there's just this there's just this ongoing, like, most people think that tuning will make you a better pilot, and it is like really important. And that is the complete opposite. It'll actually, in my opinion and in my experience, make you a worse pilot. And it's really not all that important, unless you're trying to set. Unless the point here is that you're making reels that you're going to send to people that you want to try to hire you to get gigs. But to be honest, like, when you get to the point where you're really ready for that, you'll know how to tune, and like, you'll know it. So yeah, most people are way too green for that. And like I said, when you get there, like, you'll know it, and you'll already know how to tune, because you'll just osmosis that shit. Just one man's opinion. Where we at in chat here? Great question, Poiter. Thank you for asking that. Michael Blade tagged me. Morton Upshot says, you sound good, but you are right. You need to isolate it from your desk for sure. Ramdago says, Byblade 65X could be a trendy preset. Could be fun to set a preset equals better or worse extremes. Yeah, I don't love I also don't really love the presets, because there are just too many things on each individual build that are kind of too different. And realistically, now that we have the master slider, tuning is so easy. Like, just move the master slider around. Like, move it up, move it down, and it's going to move all the values up and down in the right ratio, in probably the right ratio. And you can get a custom tune. Like, a custom tune for each individual rig is always going to be better than just dropping a preset that's somewhere close, because there's just so many variables. So, yeah, I don't love the presets. I love that they exist, and they're a great learning tool. But, yeah, it's a slippery slope, yo. It's the slipperiest of slopes. All right. Hey. Kevin James, I think we did a mailbag. Kevin James just emailed me. I think we did a mailbag last week. I'm gonna check for you, brother. I'm gonna check. Not while I'm in the middle of the stream, though. Where was I in chat here? Hold on. CMYKFPV dropping the CiottiFPV.com link. Thank you, dude. Northern Tier says, got it. Thanks. You're certainly welcome. CMYK also says, Newbie Drone just dropped an email blast too. Ramdago says, the Crossfire, AIO, Newbie Drone, all the acronyms, is an AIO with a nano fitted. It's not. The Crossfire is built directly into the board, Ram. And it works. They sent me one, and I did a review on the live stream, and yeah, it totally worked. So that was awesome. Hold on. Let me take a look at the Newbie Drone email real quick to make sure that there's not a specific thing. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's next weekend. Good. Good. What else we got going on here? Prop Breaker FPV says, have you ever flown a Mr. Steel quad? I have. 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, actually, I built a exact replica of his at the time Alien build that he was flying, and I spent a ton of money because KISS costs a fortune, and I was so excited, and I was just sure that, and I put his tune on it and like all the things, built it completely identical, and I was so psyched up. I was sure that I was gonna fly better, and that the tune was gonna like open my eyes. Like I thought I was gonna learn about tuning from it, and get to see that his rigs fly better than mine. I had already been down the rabbit hole pretty deep with Betaflight in terms of tuning, and my rigs were all really locked in. But from watching his flight footage, I was like, wow, his are even better. And I was just so excited. And good God, was that the most disappointing experience I've ever had. The tune was nowhere near as good as where my rigs were at on Betaflight, which is just basically because KISS is super, super, super old school. And even 4 years ago, Betaflight was so far beyond them in terms of filtering and specific things in there to just not just a super simple PID tune, a PID controller rather, like a PID controller with additional things that are specific for quads. PID controllers are not for quads. PID controllers are for like industrial equipment and shit. They just happen to work okay on quads, but there are all kinds of things that PID controllers don't do really well in flying machines. And Betaflight for a long time has like understood that, and they have put things in like anti-gravity, and there's all the extra stuff outside of the PID, outside of the P's, the I's, and the D's, feed forward, tons of stuff. All of those other things are really important, and KISS doesn't have any of them. Nowadays, the newer versions of KISS have some of them, but they're still just years, like literally years behind Betaflight. Which makes sense, right? KISS is like a project with like 1 or 2 people. Betaflight is a project with, Jesus, 20, 30 people working on it at any given time. It's a huge, amazing open source project. You really get to see the beauty of open source with Betaflight. And so, yeah, the tune was nowhere near as good as Betaflight. The quad was also like nowhere near as good as what I was flying. The individual ESCs were just ridiculous. The motors were not as good as the T-Motor F40s. They were nowhere near as oh my God, the durability was the worst part. The frame was terrible. The Alien frame was just old and shit. It was a real eye-opening experience. At the time, I mean, the most eye-opening part about it was, holy Christ, how does this person fly this old-ass gear so well? It made me so much more impressed at the pilot. A lot of that comes from the fact that he was just flying the same thing over and over and over again. And man, like I knew from years and years and years of motorsports how important that was. So, I mean, in that respect, it made a lot of sense, but it was really impressive how decent the flight footage was out of a rig that was just a basket case compared to what a lot of the other more current stuff that we had at the time was. The durability was a nightmare too. The arms were only 4 millimeters thick. They broke all the time. The motors were super fragile. The PID controller was really unable to handle any kinds of vibrations. So you had to have perfectly clean propellers and perfectly fresh motors on there. So yeah, it was really disappointing, but like eye-opening at the same time. And then when he moved over to the Apex, T-Bird actually sent me a pretty much an exact clone of what he flies on the Apex, and it was on the Apex frame, and it was way better, miles better than the old setup, but it was still nowhere near as good as a lot of the current stuff, like my glides on Betaflight were just way better, and it was a very similar experience of like, yeah, okay, like this is definitely better than it was, but it's nowhere near as good as what we're all building today. And that was on the newer version of KISS, which was better, but still nowhere near as good as Betaflight. So it was fun. I mean, I went into it with the expectation that because at that, a year or two ago, whenever that was, I was much more seasoned, and I kind of knew what it was going to be going in, so I wasn't like disappointed that at that point, but I was like, yeah, this figures, I get it. Definitely like way better, but man, yeah, there's so much better stuff. There's the frame is brilliant. Don't get me wrong. The Apex frame is arguably the best 5-inch frame ever made. I don't personally like it. I think that the arms are a little bit too strong. 5.5 millimeters is a little bit too thick in my opinion. I prefer 5 millimeter thinner arms so that when you hit hard enough to break a motor, instead of the motor blowing up, which is 25, 26, 27 dollars, the arm breaks, which is $3 or $4. A bunch of other subtle things that I don't like about the Apex frame, but in terms of like handling vibrations from the motors and the props, I wonder if I'm going to lose my voice. I didn't think about that. In terms of handling maybe I'll try to talk a little quieter. Move the mic up a little bit. Yeah, in terms of handling vibrations, oh no, now the mic is in frame. A little wind muff on it. Look at this. Why do people do this? Why is this a thing? Yeah, all right, it sounds better, but yeah, it's a great frame. Don't get me wrong. It's way too expensive, also, and it's not a perfect frame by any stretch of the imagination. It might be the right frame for you. It's not the right frame for me. The Glide is. But it's a really good frame, and I'm tempted to say like you can't go wrong with it. I think you kind of can because it's absurdly expensive, and there are frames out that are better in a bunch of different ways. But it's a good frame for sure. I would definitely stay away from his motors. They're still unbelievably, incredibly fragile. I don't know what it is, but like every motor that TBS makes is just super, super, super fragile. I don't get it. And I would also stay away from KISS. Like it's just old, and Betaflight is open source, and you know we should be supporting open source projects, and it's way better. So yeah, Betaflight is a much better starting point, and it's just much better software. And the components that you can get for it are much less expensive. So, yeah, the steel setups, it is shocking how good his flight footage is on his setups. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to get the flight footage as. Yeah, it's just a lot of work. KISS is a lot of work. You got to replace props all the time. You got to replace motors all the time. You got to keep the rig super, 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 super clean. And that's too expensive for me. I don't have the money or the time to do that. Mainly, I don't have the money to do that. You know, when you have your own line of motors, it doesn't matter. You crash once and you put a fresh motor on, and you're good to go because you got a big box of them waiting there. I don't, and that's okay. CiottiFPV says, I got to see two of a kind 100-gram naked 03 rigs Brandon FPV had. That's pretty cool. Avix says 75 millimeters, I think. That's super cool, actually. I think a 75 millimeter rig is going to be what I do with my 03 air unit. I don't think I'm going to take it all apart. I think I'm going to run it full case so that it doesn't overheat and so that I can crash it. And I don't think it's that much lighter when you decase it. I got to look that up though. I got to look up how much weight you really do save. CMYK says ASMR CiottiFPV. Morton Upshot says, I wonder if putting the mic on a mouse pad will damp the ambient sound a little. But now it looks like a sinister ding-dong coming to get you. That's a good thought. We can try that. Well, kinda. I thought I had a I do have a an extra mouse pad floating around. That will most likely get the job done. I swear to God, I have a newbie drone around. There it is. Oh, for God's sakes, Larry! All right, let's see. I got this round newbie drone mouse pad here, and let's put the mic tripod on that. So here, we'll do a test. I'm gonna try to hit the desk like I'm gonna do the things that I normally do. All right, so I sit here like this, and I do this with my fingers, tap my fingers, and then I do this with the mouse. This is clapping the mouse down, right, and this is clicking the mouse. All right, and then I'm gonna type a little bit. All right, and now let's see. Put this under here, and the problem is the mouse pad has a thickness to it, and that keeps my keyboard from sitting flat. All right, so fingers on the desk, mouse, clicks. I'm sure it's a little bit better. So let's leave it like that for a while. See how the rest of the stream goes. Morton Upshot, we got that. Nate Adams says, you mentioned that Steel's / TBS motors are delicate. Is the same true for Botgrinder's motors? This is one of the reasons that Bot moved from TBS to Oh My God for his motors. When Bot's motors were made by TBS, he was not happy with the durability of them, even though he, made it very obvious to them that the number one design, the number one thing needed to be durability. So yeah, that relationship did not go well, unfortunately, from what I understand. But yeah, his motors are now made by RCN Power, and they make very durable motors. And they're designed by Oh My God, who is an effing genius and knows what's what. So yeah, there you go. There's a little inside baseball for you. Oh boy, I do not feel great. Let's take a look at the GetFPV email here. We're just gonna rip through it. I don't know if I don't know or care enough about the DJI FPV 5-inch to look up if it has the O3 system. So we're just gonna assume that it does. I don't know. I feel like it has to have the V2 system if it's gonna work with the Integra goggles, but I could be wrong. GoPro magnetic mount for the silly ethics chesty thing. I don't know. I don't get it. The stick cam thing doesn't make any sense to me. This chesty thing doesn't really make any sense to me. I don't know. If you're into it, awesome. I love that for you. It's not my thing. It just looks silly, and I just don't get it. RunCam Phoenix 2 FPV camera special edition. Very cool. This is OG Vista, which is, still works really, really well. Amazing that we've got more camera options for that. This is just a back in stock. This is not new. But apparently this is a really good camera. The new Bardwell QAVS is really awesome. He's got the aluminum camera plates. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I understand it. Look at this. Look at this for these Luminar indestructible guarantee. I mean, it's only a LiPo strap, right? So you're not going to save much money, but it's pretty cool that they've got a guarantee on these. I don't know. They're kind of long. 300 millimeters is kind of long. So be aware of that. These are for big fat boy batteries. I don't really keep up with transmitters. My QX7 that was $100 8 years ago is still the best for me. Still fits the best in my hands. But if you're super into transmitters, here you go. A bunch of TBS gear back in stock. This hissingy thing, which it seems like is the best way to get somebody started in FPV. $50 off. That's pretty slick. I've heard really good things about this in terms of trying to get people started. So yeah, if you want to get somebody into it, Think about this for sure. Hisingi Stargazer. Micro VX V2. Is there anything interesting in the V2? Probably not. These are really nice to have. What this is XT60 female. Which side is that? Is this for charging or is this for running? Yeah, so this is for charging. So these, I know this looks like kind of a mundane product, but this is actually a great product. This will allow you to plug, if you've got like a parallel board or just a charger that has XT60 only on it, you plug this into the XT60 port on the charger or the parallel board, and then you've got this little XT30. They make the little adapters that the connectors are right on top of each other. Having this little bit of wire is actually like a really, really, really big deal. And it really helps getting batteries plugged in and not like cramping the wires in a weird way. And like, especially if you're using a parallel board, like you gotta be careful. Parallel boards can burn your fucking house down. Like, and I'm not just saying that, like that's real. That's a real thing that you have to actually think about for sure. So little seemingly mundane things like this actually make a really big difference. In my opinion, what you should do is have little extension cables on the balance leads as well. And you can get them from Amazon. They're these little guys, and they're cool looking because they got the little rainbow wires. But in my opinion, if you're going to run a parallel board, you should have these adapters for every single one, and then you should have this guy. This guy is brilliant because it's 6S on here, so you're going to plug it into the main balance lead, and then there's and you can just cheat the 6S leads, and you can just plug in smaller batteries to them, but it's sketchy. Don't do that. Get one of these, and it's super simple. It's very obvious. If you have a 6-cell battery, it's this one. If you have a 5-cell battery, it's this one. 4-cell, 3-cell, 2-cell. It's just, and these are cheap. It's just an added layer of, I don't want to wreck my batteries. I don't want to burn the house down. I don't want to blow the fuses on my parallel board. These guys and these guys, if you've got a parallel board, and you're running XT30 and you need to charge XT30 batteries, it'll make your life easier, it'll be safer, and it's not going to cost you much. So yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend having a bunch of these on hand. They're just really, really nice. Goggles 2 ready to ship. Integra goggles back in stock. Crossfire. No. Bunch of Lumineer gear here. I prefer the iFlight carbon fiber looking version of this patch antenna visor thing, but maybe you like the clear. They both probably work just as good as one another. I don't know what this Axie Quattro patch antenna is. Maybe somebody on chat will mention it. 6S 3500 mAh Cinelefter battery. Jesus. These Lumineer NTO and N2O batteries have crazy discharge rates, but they're very heavy and they've not been very durable for me. So I stay away from these Lumineer N2O batteries. Lehman just did some battery testing, and the Tattoo R lines came out on top. Chris Rosser is doing a bunch of battery testing as well. So we'll have more info on what batteries are the ones to get. It would not surprise me if the Tattoo R lines are the best. Yes, they're more expensive than China Hobby Line and GNB, but they're lighter and they're higher performance. And to me, that's well worth it. And they're not that much more expensive. I would definitely say, though, stay away from Thunder Power batteries. They are way too expensive. They're like another $10, And in my experience, they actually don't perform as well as the Tattoo R lines. So I would definitely stay away from those. Um, you'll notice with the Thunder Power batteries that the only people that really run them are the people that are sponsored by them, because they're getting big discounts or they're just getting them for free. Most people that have experimented with Thunder Power batteries that are not sponsored by them don't buy them again. They buy them once. They don't last very long. They don't really put out much good power. They're just, yeah, they get outperformed by much less expensive batteries. And, you know, I guess you could argue that there's something to be said for flying gear that your favorite FPV pilot flies, and that might, you know, give you more confidence. But when it's like noticeably worse gear that's more expensive, I think that's a deal breaker. That's just me, though. A couple of stubby antennas. The Lumineer antennas are typically made by TrueRC, which is a really good thing. So the Lumineer Axie antennas are always really good quality because TrueRC is the absolute jam. They've got 3D printing services, which is awesome. And they're done through Brain 3D, which is even more awesome. Axis Flying Argus Pro plug-and-play stack. Let's take bets on what this stack costs. Let's do over under. 65 amp BL 32. Let's go $150 over or under. Over or under $150. Just type over or under in the chat. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Over or under? I'm going to say over. Quick. Over or under? 150 bucks. Looks like it's 20 by 20 is my guess. It's hard to tell because they broke these plug headers out. I'm going to guess 20 by 20. 65 amp is pretty high. F7 plug and play, they're probably charging extra for that. Axis Flying, their stuff is typically higher quality, a little bit more expensive. It's got the new USB. It is only 3 to 6S. It's not 3 to 8S. BLHeli 32, that's going to make it more expensive. Let's see. Under, over, under. Jesus, guys. Over. You guys really think it's under? Let's see. There's no way it's under 150 bucks. It might be. Oh, close. Just barely. Damn, okay. 155. I don't really know what to say about it. Like it's a new stack. God knows if it's good or not. I mean, like stacks at this point are just a roll of the dice. It's got black box, that's great. It's got a BMI 270, that's great. Axis Power is a good company, so there's a better chance of this holding up. But yeah, I mean, whether or not a stack survives a 60, 70, 80 mile an hour hit, there's just no way of telling without smashing the shit out of it a whole bunch of times. So it's really, really tough, man. Anybody that looks at the specs on a stack and is like, yeah, this is definitely it, definitely get this. Like, ooh, man, be wary of that person. Like, you can go over the specs and you can talk about the specs, but until you've slammed it 50 times, I can't justify recommending it. It's got nice big positive and negative pads. That's kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot to love about this stack. The motor wire pads are a little on the small side, but I do like that they have the little angle to them. I do kind of dig that. So yeah, I mean, this could be a good stack, but man, is it hard to tell. I can't believe it's. I mean, I can't believe stacks are $155. That's just it just sucks. True RC Mark II Air. What's the deal with this one? Quarter of the original Air, about the same wide coverage, high axial ratio. Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit wider of an angle. 48-in-1 precision screwdriver set. I'm sure it's really nice. I don't really understand these. We only really use uh, 4 different screwdrivers, so I mean, this is cool and all, but I don't know. A bunch of Radiomaster gear, 18350s, lithium ion, 2S battery. Like I said earlier, I don't really keep up with the transmitter stuff. I like if you find a transmitter that fits your hands, just stick with it. Like it's insane to me how often they come out with new transmitters that they're just the same thing over and over and over again. Like my like none of the newest brand new transmitter versus my like 10-year-old QX7. That's when they started making them. They do the exact same thing. You know, like a color screen is pointless unless you're going to have a VTX in there, which none of them do. Yeah, okay, some of the transmitters are smaller, but that doesn't fit my hands. So, like, if you've got smaller hands, yeah, I guess. But yeah, it's there are an awful lot of transmitters out there, and I don't see a point in like if your transmitter is working and it's comfortable in your hands, I don't see any point changing. Find one that fits your hands and focus on everything else. No transmitter, if unless your transmitter doesn't fit your hands or fingers properly, there is no newfangled transmitter that's gonna make you fly any better. So just find one that works for you, and you're done. That's your transmitter. You're good to go. If you want something that's really small and yeah, okay, sure, for travel or for gorilla whooping, sure, mess around with that. But I don't know. I see people like that every time a new transmitter comes out, they get it. And I'm like, that's going to make you a lot worse of a pilot because you're going to have to constantly be changing how your hands are on the sticks. So yeah, find a transmitter that fits your hands and just stop looking at transmitters. Beta FPV Cetus X. I've actually heard really good things about this as well as a beginner kit. I would maybe feel more comfortable with this as a beginner kit than the Stargazer, but I don't know. A lot of people have said a lot of really nice things about the Stargazer, so that's kind of on you. I don't really dive into the beginner stuff all that much. Cinemania sale, $1,100 off a big ass lifter. You're gonna have to spend like 10 grand to get that $1,100 off, I'll bet, but that's pretty cool if you're looking to dive into the cinema world. This is the one right here, man. I love that they're advertising this 2.5-inch rather than the new 2-inch version. I think this is the one that you want, the QAV Pro 2.5-inch. This is I've got the V1 version of this, and it's been fantastic. A bunch of fat straps. There's the 2-inch QAV Pro. I don't really understand this one. Unless you don't need to carry it. If you're not going to carry a GoPro, I guess I get this one. If you're going to, but the footage that you get from the O3 system in many's opinion is not good enough for cinematic FPV. That's just one gangly man's opinion though. Here's the N2O batteries, bunch of GGI stuff back in stock. GGI stuff. There's that Apache antenna again, crazy Cybermech LED visor. They've got a power bank that they sell, and they've always got some good deals in the clearance section. So there you go, my friends. There's a bunch of new products and what I think about them. Oh boy, I'm fading. Okay. let's power through here. We're gonna do some we're gonna do some work on this edit. Oh boy. Hold on, let me go blow my nose. Let me show you where this is at so far. I can't play the. Wait, no, did I use copyright free music? I did. Look how smart I am. Is that playing? Hold on. All right, no, that's not playing through the. Hold on, you're gonna lose audio for a minute, but I just need to fix this. You'll get audio again in a second. Hold on. Ah, right. I remember how to do this. Okay. That should fix it. Oh, shit. Let's see. Be right back, friends. Here's where it's at so far. It's going to get a little hairy towards the end. Here, let me just pull this over. It's not quite right, but there at least will be footage for the entire song now. Be right back. I'm going to go blow my nose. All right, so the entire like second half of that is just footage that's dumped in. But the beginning is pretty dialed. Let me try to figure out where I stopped actually editing this. This will be fun. I might not be able to tell. Let's see. No, the cell phone videos look terrible. Putting a camera in the car, in the RC car, does not work at all because of the angle that they run at. The camera works great when they're driving straight ahead, but as soon as they put angle on, the camera is just looking at the inside of the corner, and you can't see anything. You need if you're gonna run an in-car camera, you have to hook it up with a gimbal, which they can't. Or you got to hook it up on a servo, so that as the car yaws, the servo keeps the yeah, you would basically have to hook the servo up to the front wheels, so that because the front wheels are always going in the direction of travel, and yeah, apparently it's been done, but like All right, let's see here. Let me just kick the volume up. Well, am I going to get audio? I'm not going to get audio. I have to go back up here. I'm really happy with some of this. Some of this came out really cool. It's been like just long enough since I did this that like, yeah, I don't know. This is fun. This is really cool. It's weird, man. Like I hate editing, but when I force myself to do it and I'm doing like something cool like this, I don't actually mind it that much. It's annoying. CQB, give me a minute. Let me figure out where I stopped editing this, and then I'll read through your question. Looks like a good one. I'm still not I'm still not entirely sold on this clip here. Like when you're editing in footage, right? When it's important to remember like who your audience is, right? Like if my audience was FPV pilots for this, I think this would be the right clip to have in here because I'm doing something really challenging, right? I'm flying backwards while tracking a car and then keeping it in frame as I rotate, trying to keep it in frame as I rotate around. I try not to have my audience be FPV pilots. I try to have my audience be like everyone. I don't want only FPV pilots to be interested in what I make. And so for a non-FPV pilot, they don't understand how difficult it is to fly backwards a half an inch off the ground with a tiny whoop. And so, yeah, having this clip in here is more like me, you know, masturbating. And I hit the ground twice, which bugs the shit out of me. I have another clip down here, though. Let's see what that is. I remember this. Interesting. I like the flow. I like this current flow because it covers the racetrack here, drift track here, and then it picks up in the same spot here where this shot ends, right? The location on track that this shot ends, it picks right up here, and I do really like that. And the spots where I hit the floor do like roughly coincide with the music, which is kind of interesting. CQBFPV says, Meteor 65 Pro, I set motor protocol to DShot 300, but then I got this error. The Quad X... What? The Quad X mode needs 4 motors to resource firmware. I set bidirectional DShot. Now I'm getting API error to Betaflight. What was the motor protocol before you set it to D-Shot 300? Brandon's gonna hook you up in the chat. I can see Brandon's already figuring it out with you. If for some reason Brandon can't get you there, message me and we'll figure it out. But yeah. Yeah, if Brandon can't figure it out with you, it looks like Brandon's willing to dive in. So I'm gonna not confuse the situation by having too many cooks in the kitchen here. Okay. Blanc versus and see between these two these two clips, that transition right there, that cut doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. This one does. This one works a lot better. I'm gonna leave this in. I'm gonna leave in the "Look at me, I'm a good pilot" clip. Sometimes you gotta, you know, just show people what a good pilot you are. Okay, let's keep going. Bong. Yeah. This is fucking cool, man. this is cool shit right here. All right, so this is now where I stopped editing it. It's very, very obvious. Yeah, that fits in there nice. Good Lord, that's what she said. And yeah, I cut the front off this just right. It's like just enough of a lead in here where you know you're going through his arms. That cut is in the wrong spot, though. Whack. There we go. So I need to pull this out like that. Ah, that's now too long. So let's cheat this to the beginning here. So let's pull 6 frames out, shift the clip over, and then add 6 to the beginning. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, okay. Time to keep going. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 9. My throat's starting to really hurt. But let's keep going. Let me just keep drinking. This will be good. It's good for me to just keep pounding liquids. Okay. Well, that water tastes like shit. Oh. Who peed in that water? Oh. Yikes. Ooh. Gross. All right, what's the next clip here? So it can kind of be anything. So, okay, or it could be this. It's me getting like stuck to his to the magnet on the back of his little car there. It's like fun for us, but like it just makes everybody wonder like, oh, is the iPhone footage the way to go? It's like, nope. FPV footage, yo. FPV is always the answer. Just like Miata is always the answer. So. Let me get this out of here. Take this guy out. What's this one? What's this one here? Okay, it's more of that car. Yeah, it's kind of low energy. Let's get it out. Okay. So we got this. We got this. We got this. Let's see what's going on. What is this? What is this little guy here? Oh, I have that in there. So listen to the music. Music kind of has that, which I'm leaning on as like rewinding rewinding. So I have that little clip dropped in there. Hopefully I can work on the clips before and after it because I like the way that looks. So here we go. Come on. Play properly. That's a little bit of an awkward cut. Yeah, that cut doesn't make any sense. Where does that footage go after? Come on now. What if I pull this out a little bit? Okay, yeah, that's the end of that sucks. Okay, that's why I had that clipped short like that. Danzel the Terrible, he recognized the FPV is always the answer quote. There's a there it is. That's definitely my Miata. In the car world, new people will commonly go on to car forums and say, what car should I buy? I want to autocross. What car should I buy? I want to drift. What car should I buy? I want to do track days. What car should I buy? I want to be a stance dipshit. What car should I buy? And the running joke is that Miata is always the answer. Because it's lightweight, it's cheap, they're all over the place, they're easy to work on. And so, yeah, as a Miata person, yeah, I resemble that. Hopefully someday I'll get mine back, but I don't really have a great spot to park it at the moment, so it's whatever. In case you were wondering what it actually looks like, the fuck is this shit? Don't know. What is this? There it is. Yeah, it was a pretty serious autocross build, but also very heavy on being a daily driver. But yeah, this is it. This is like such a perfect synopsis of my thought process on the build. Building a better Miata. My goal is not to build a tuner car where the original balance or soul is lost, but carefully select parts which work together as a whole to complement and enhance the quintessential sports car. This is my journey to build a better Miata. Better for me, too, right? Like a stone stock Miata is perfect for a lot of people. But wanting to go autocross hard and win, and do track days as well and have something that absolutely rails up in the mountains, this was a very... Man, I spent a lot of time and effort to perfectly select the parts to make this thing just the best it could be for me. And it really was. There were some pretty serious setbacks towards the end. And I haven't had it for coming up on 4 years. But I'll get it back at some point. We'll see. Hell of a machine, though. My God. Hell of a thing. It'll be back. It'll be back. All right. Let's get a little more done here. What do you say? Come on, Premiere. You can do it. You can do it. Denzel said, I thought convertible cars were heavier than their normal counterparts and therefore not ideal for racing. They never made a non-convertible Miata. And when you build a convertible from the ground up as a convertible, it's awesome. What you're referring to is when they build a normal car and then turn it into a convertible. So like every time that there's a car that you can buy as either a hardtop or a convertible, that was designed as a hardtop, and then they offered a convertible by just cutting the roof off, and then they add additional bracing in, and the additional bracing adds additional weight, and it's just not ideal. Cars that they specifically build as convertibles are different because they just build it to be that way. And yeah, there's really nothing that rivals the Miata in like the full grand scheme of things: availability, cost, weight, drivetrain, parts selection, just all around. Miata really is the answer. Double A's in the house. What's up, homie? Haven't seen you in a while. Mudderson says, I'm told if you just want to get a new car that wins its autocross class, you get a Mach 1. That might be true today. Next season, next year, that'll be different. And there are many, many, many different autocross classes. So there are many cars that are the hot ticket for A stock, B stock, C stock, D stock. So yeah, there are always a number of different cars that will be very competitive in a given class. And then the following year, that'll usually get shaken up. So it's a moving target. It's not a good idea to do that really, unless you're unless you're on the national circuit and you're one of these alien drivers that has tons and tons and tons of money. For us mere mortals, it's a much better idea to get the car that you want, and then you'll find a class for it. And if you put the right tires, the right suspension, and a good driver in it, it's going to be very, very, very competitive. FP Avery, I'm not going to go down the Miata rabbit hole again with what happened to it. But the short version is, unfortunately, I took it to the same shop as T-Pain took his cars, and the guy ripped me off as bad as he ripped... Not as bad as he ripped T-Pain off, but yeah, guy's a piece of garbage. But I don't have... yeah, Miata will always have 50-50 weight distribution for sure. But yeah, like I said, I don't have a place to park it, so it's weirdly fine that it's there. I don't know. It'll probably just get sold when I get it back anyway. So, them's days are over. I feel like this clip sits a little bit too long. It's funny. What do I have that's... So this is... Do I have a little short... A little shorty that I can stick in there instead of that? What's that? That's like one full measure of the music. Let's see. There's a couple little short guys here. Let's see what we got. Oh, those are the half speeds. There's that one. Got a bunch of long ones here. What do we got here? Another two little shorties. Let's see what we got. No. No. I don't think that's it. I mean, I could cut these guys down. What's the clip before it again? Clip before it is this big punch and roll. Nah, I think I'm gonna leave that in. That's kind of fun. Breaks it up. Smack. Okay, let's just keep going. So this is these two cores sliding to the right a little bit. Let's see what this looks like. Just the clip that's there. Nah, it doesn't work. That's not a good match. So let's get this out of here. What about this? Let's see what this is. Well, that's pretty cool. And it almost works with the music, I think. Let's see. You know what's interesting? This mic being a shotgun mic, it's gonna pick up a lot less of the music coming out of the speakers. Although, yeah, it is coming in at a much lower volume than the Zoom mic used to. That's kind of interesting. That's probably a good thing, so you guys don't have to listen to the music the same part of the music 7,000 times. Oh man, my throat's starting to hurt. So this is kind of cool. The music goes da, and the footage, like, I kind of go backwards and then forwards. Ready? Wait, no, it's right. I'm leaving that. I am gonna cut this though. The cars gapped the shit out of me, so I'm gonna cut it there. Thump, hear it? That's where we're gonna cut it. Right on that thump. And then, oh, this will be cool. I love doing this. I love covering up mistakes in my flying, right? Like, they gap the shit out of me. But watch this. Watch how cool this is going to be. It's going to almost be like I did this on purpose. And I'm going to wait. So, the cut is going to happen here. And he's roughly here. And now I'm going to fast forward. He's moved. Alright, let's try that. Let's try cutting it there. The car is roughly at the same point on the screen, so your eyes don't have to move. Let's see how that is. Nope, that's too much. That's cutting a little too much off. I'm gonna cut it right as I start to gain on this car. So, like, as he gets bigger in the frame, I think right around there. So let's chop that. Oops. Still doesn't really work. It do, you don't. Guess it kind of works. All right, here's the other thing that's happening. At the end of this clip, at the end of this one, what am I doing? Am I going? I'm going elevation up, and now I'm going elevation down. So let me try to, and then in this one I'm going back elevation up. So let me try to match up the elevation changes. I'm also trying to keep this short. Cut ruthlessly in the edit. What about that? What if I capture this little moment here? Come on. Give me the thing. There we go. Your eyes are on the left side of the screen. So, what if I cut it all the way down there? Oh, thank you for the reminder, Premiere. This is the Walksnail, the Walksnail 65mm build. Tiny lifter can't get down like this. I think that works. Oh, I need to match up that. That's too good of an opportunity, though. That little bump on the car, I need to put that with the music, and that's how I'm going to center this clip. It kind of already does, and I'm going to let this run for 2 measures, I think. 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to put that little bump on the 1. Yep, here it goes. Let's see. Yeah, that's fucking dope. Alright, so I think this is gonna be it. I think it's a little early. Here's something that's super interesting, right? I'm trying to center this with the 1. And when you do it real short like this, it looks right. Right? That looks correct. But now watch it in the full context, and now it won't seem quite right. Now it feels early, doesn't it? So yeah, never, like, when you're roughing it in, you can do it short and quick like this, but then always make sure that you go back and watch it in context to make sure that it doesn't all of a sudden seem different. I don't know why that is, but it's a thing. It's early, so the video looks like it's early, so we need to pull it, let's say 3 frames would be my guess. There it is. Now it looks right, right? And now watch this. If we just look at it in the short bit, now it looks like it's late, right? Nah, it still looks like it's right. So yeah, make sure you do that. Let's see how this lines up. Oh, we're close. Oh, this lines up like exactly wrong. Shit. Okay, hold on. Let's try this. Let's push it to where I want it. So this, remember, this reversed clip is set as per the music. Listen to the music. Ready? So, and the end of this clip has this really cool little roll as I stick to the car, which coincides with this reversed clip of me rotating after hitting the can in the ground. So I got to get these two working together here. Let's see where that little car bump hits on the music when I line these up here. Let's see. Done. That's it. Good to go. It hits on an upbeat, but that's fine. Right? And now, basically, we just do this, and we just live with it, wherever it is. Oh, man, I really don't like it, though. I really don't like it here at the beginning. It's just kind of dead. So our options are we can extend the clip before. And so... So what's this look like? I'm probably not going to like this either, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, no. I like that even less. Balls. This is pretty close. So I might change this clip out previous. This run here is too good. Although this beginning part, this is I mean, it's filled with energy. This bit here is filled with energy, but it's sloppy. I would kind of rather get into this clip when I've settled down on this A96 A90. Is it A96? It's just A90. A90. Come on. Oh, don't do it. Don't do it, Premiere. Don't you dare. Oh, okay, good. So... I might get rid of this chunk here. Here's another thing I could do. Cut this down in half. So, like, cut the beginning off where I'm fucking around. And then just run this at half speed. So, like... Pick it up here, maybe. And then I'm gonna cut the end of it off as well. Just get that whole bit. Here's what I'll do. I'll cut it short and then slow it down and then speed it back up. So bring it down to 50% and then I'll pull it back out. Let's see what that plays like. I mean, it's cool because you get to see the car counter steer and you get to see the rear tires. Yeah, that's pretty slick. I don't like going to half speed when the music doesn't warrant it. I think I like that the best so far. I think that's the move there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Happy enough. Happy enough. All right, so now we're going into a big old... These are not going to be right for this. Because the music is just blasting at this point, and this is going to be half-speed stuff. But let's see. Well, It makes more sense. Makes more sense there. I need something with some insanity. Maybe this. So this is reversed in the corner. Yeah, I need a little bit more meat on there, but let's see. What's this clip here? There's more half-speed stuff. Let me move that back because that's probably in the right. No, it's not. What do we got up here? Oh, bump and run action. God, I love that. Ooh, these guys at 50% speed are not not doing it for me. And this is where that big 50% chunk is gonna sit. Uh, 12 minutes until Botgrinder takes over the live streaming FPV duties for the night. And I'm going to go lay down, I think. I am feeling noticeably worse than I was at the beginning of the stream. I need something big for this moment here. This ain't the right clip. I need something that's hitting for this. What's it gonna be? Where do I have something? That ain't it either. Oh, that, man, I got settled down and I got in there. That I might cut off that last little bit. Let's see what this next one is, though. Oh, that's nice. That can getting blasted up out of the way. Ooh, that's kind of... I'm kind of digging that. I think I'm going to use a chunk of this. Yeah, because now we're on that same part of the racetrack. Unfortunately, the car straightens, though. But I could just grab that really tight bit there. Interesting. What do we got down here? What have I pulled all the way out here? Oh, the that stuff. Okay. And then we got some half-speed stuff. And then we got that stuff. What else do we have out here in no man's land? What's this? Oh, some stuff with the teal and white car. Want something that's really jamming. Oh, that's kind of nice at the end there. Oh, that might be Ooh, that's a nice one too. Little reveal there on that yaw rotation. Ooh, damn, getting down now. Okay, what's this clip leading into? This is leading into something. It's leading into this. Oh, it doesn't need to lead into that, though. Good Lord. Whoa! Jeez. All right. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. Come on, play. Nope, that's not it. I don't hate that little bump and run there. What was that? Wow, that was not on purpose. This is not on purpose. Look what happens here. These clips just happen to be on top of each other. That's a hell of a little happy accident there. So what if I... Watch this. If I move this over a little bit, it'll get even crazier. It's like seamless. That's really funny. Okay. Let me shuffle a little bit here. Okay. There's 2 hits there. Getting those hits to line up is going to be a murder. Come on, play, yo. Play. There we go. Let me just take a stab at this. That last little hit doesn't line up, but those first 2 hits line up. What I can do is cut out of it. Cut here. And then do the same thing I just did. And like fast forward a little bit. Oh, but I would have to cut this little bump out. Yeah, we go directly into like here. So the car is off on the right, so your eye line is off on the right side of the screen. Now it's on the left. I would just end up getting rid of the rest of this clip. I mean, I guess technically I could cut early. I could cut it early and then use this little bump. So like if I cut, I think I left about 3 frames before that little bump there. If I cut back by 3, let's see. Yeah, that's... Still feels too late. Cut 2 more. Now it just looks like a bad jump cut, though. We can kind of try to finagle that, though. Pull 2 off, add 2. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, no, it just looks like a mistake. It just looks like a footage skips, basically. I would need to cut it all the way back here, I think. Yeah, that looks more purposeful. Still don't like it, though. I don't know. It's got some charm to it. Let's see it. No, you know, I would cut it even farther back. Cut it up there on that snare hit on the 3. 3. Nope, nope, nope. I would cut it on the 4. Here's where I'd cut it. See what that looks like. Oh, come on now. See like that's cool and all, but then it's just dead. It's just me like repositioning, and the song is jamming at this point, so we want to stay in it. So what I would actually rather do is use the little just chop ruthlessly and center up the little pops from the exhaust. That's not working. Might be working. Cut too much off. Undo. Undo. Just cut 2 frames instead of 3. Let's see. Ah, now it's too late. Is it really 1 frame off? Wow. It's 1 frame off when I cut 1 too many frames versus 1 too few. It's wrong both times. Oh, no. It's still too late. It's still too late. Man, that was deceiving. This should be it. There it is. I think that's it. Okay. I'm gonna move this 50%er because this song doesn't really warrant it yet. And let's just start pulling something else in. Pretty happy with that. Where are we going from here? No, that's too slow. Oops. Do that. This is like chill kind of stuff. We need more insanity. More chaos. Let's get this over here. What's this guy up here? Okay, this is a maybe. This is a definite maybe. Let's get this guy out of the way. Pull this fella in and see what this looks like. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. That little elevation hop even kind of works because like I'm down low here, and like what also happens is like look at the location of the A90 Supra, right? What I do is I put my finger, like I'll literally just on the screen I'll put my fingernail where the center of the car is, right? And I'll just hold my hand kind of still, and then I'll just go forward a frame. And now when I do that, in the new frame, the Gretty 370Z is a little bit high and too much to the left. So now I can kind of advance the footage until it's perfect, which is like right there. So now we're gonna chop it. This way your eye line doesn't bounce around too much. Oops. So now when I drop this in, your eyes aren't gonna have to move. As much, and it just makes it flow better. I think I kind of dig that. I do want a little bit more. Let's get this half-speed footage out of here. There's that little bump that just happened to sit in there all nice like. How long are you? 320. How long are you? 429. One, two, three, four, two, two, three, four. Thump. What if I pull this out to there? What's the end of this clip look like? It's not bad. A little boring. Kind of cool to see them to see him get into the side of them, and the green car manages to correct. They're both 370Zs. But the blue car kind of doesn't. This is the kind of thing that, like, the drivers of these cars might want to see, that us FPV pilots don't necessarily want to see, right? This is subject-driven editing, so think about your subjects. What do they want to see? They want to see, like, the crashes. They want to see the recoveries. The green car just made a great recovery on that. The other option is I cut this in half, and I look for footage where I'm sliding sideways like this, because this is... It would be here, would be the cut, I think. There it is. So let's just explore that real quick. Do I have any footage where I'm kind of sliding... I could sneak this in, because this is like the next lap. Oh, this could be cool. Do I have anything good up here? So we can pretend like I'm fast forwarding. Almost. That's interesting. I could work in that little crane bop. Alright, so I would want to bring it in once I got my elevation under control, which is like roughly there. Nah, it's kind of boring. Oh boy, it's 9:05. Go get you some Botgrinder. I've run out of steam, my friends. I'm gonna leave this here. Oh boy, we got a good chunk of that done though. Let me pull this back over here, and I'm just gonna play this out for you guys, full screen, with full audio. We're at 1:10 minutes. I don't like where this is. Hold on. Let me leave this in a little bit of a better place. Leaving it like this, I'm not in love with it. I don't like leaving it here either. Maybe something like this. I'm just gonna take a couple guesses. as to what might look good. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. Sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna drop some random shit in here. I just pull some stuff in. I just want to fill it up. Oh, that's a nice... I just kind of threw this in here, but I don't hate it. That's a nice little tandem chase. It would need to get cut there, but... Yeah, all right. That's a really decent stopping point. All right, friends. Thanks for hanging in here with me. Whew. We'll get some rest. Drink some more things. All right, friends. Be good. Here comes what we've done. It's gonna get... Yeah, there's gonna be a point where it gets kind of shitty, but... You know what's what. I'll see you Sunday. Full screen this. Come down here to black hole. Get OBS fired up. Can I put it on top of the ends logo? Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, see you guys Sunday. I think this should work. Let's see.